Are you looking for a podcast about a sleek, portable projector?
Then you must be thinking of another podcast. Oh. Good evening, Kelsey.
Good evening, Robert.
How are you?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
I'm a little sad.
Why are you sad?
So Taylor brought this to my attention that apparently almost like every January, like the beginning of each year, we just get massive celebrity deaths.
Truly, that's when David Bowie died.
So let's go ahead and get this corner out of the way.
Okay.
Bob Saget died.
Yeah. Do you feel strongly about this one?
I was about to say, honestly, he is the voiceover from How I Met Your Mother for me.
Yeah.
Ooh, and America's Funniest Home Videos.
That's what I know him from.
Yeah. Like, I didn't watch Full House when I was younger, so like
No, me
he's not Danny Tanner for me. I've seen it now, because when Fuller House came out, Taylor got really into Full House again.
Okay.
And the show's pretty bomb. Like, it's a good show.
I mean, I've watched, like, some episodes. I was not a religious viewer of it as a child. It was not, like, waiting for it to come on.
I mean, I didn't watch a lot of TV of, like, I guess that type of TV when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see, like, Full House, Step by Step.
All the sitcoms.
Boy Meets World. Like, Beverly Hills, 90210. Like, none of the, like, I guess, I don't want to say teen shows, but I guess kind of like those, like Seventh Heaven. I didn't watch,
like after school special type of shows.
I guess so, yeah. I didn't watch many of those.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't watch those with, like, the messages in them. Because, like,
Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, didn't see that one. I didn't see Angel, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like,
I watched
none of that
Saved by
stuff.
the Bell, and I watched Clarissa Explains It All, but that was on Nickelodeon, so I don't know if that's considered in the same, like, category.
I'm going to say no to Clarissa Explains It All, but Saved by the Bell for sure is one of them.
Yeah,
That
I liked
never
that
saw
show.
that either, so. I knew, like, the opening, and then I'd be like, I don't want to watch that, and I'd leave.
Oh, man. That's such a good theme song.
But, I mean, I care enough because he was such a big comedian in the world.
Yeah, like, he definitely, you know, he's a household name. Everybody knows who Bob Saget is. You can put a face and a voice to it.
Yeah. You know, he had just died, and me and Taylor were kind of like, something like you said last week when we discussed Betty White had died.
Uh-huh.
Like, as soon as they were gone, it's like dirt digging time.
Yes.
Let's find anything and everything to like slander somebody that can never respond.
I know, and I don't know if it's just like in the age of social media, they want to be like the first one to get the viral tweet. Like, did you guys know that Bob Saget was actually a piece of shit, and like list all these things, get clicks to your profile? Like, are you just trying to stir shit for the sake of shit stirring, or do you have a
that's what it
personal
is.
crusade? I don't.
I think there are people, I mean, I don't want to go like too nerdy, but like in The Dark Knight, I think there's just some people that like to watch the world burn.
Yeah, I guess so.
They just want to be the person that can go, well, and like ruin an image, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't think there is a perfect person that exists out there, except for you, Betty White. You are the only perfect human on this planet. I don't know how much I believe some of the things that are coming out.
I mean, I don't want to say I don't believe them. I just don't want to acknowledge them. Like, I feel like I come from a weird place on this because I didn't really, not to sound cruel, but I didn't really care about Bob Saget. Like, it's just another celebrity for me. Yeah, like you
didn't have an attachment.
Yeah, it's not like one of my favorite people dying, you know?
Yeah.
It sucks to me when a public figure dies. I'm trying to find a way to word this delicately because I know that we live in an age where like people are coming forward about things that have happened to them, and there's apparently like sexual allegations against Bob Saget, and I'm not saying those didn't happen or that we shouldn't talk about them, but like the second he dies, that's when you want to bring it up. Like,
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I had said to Taylor, we're in this, and I hate saying things like that, but we're in the post, like, Me Too world, you know?
I hate that phrase a lot.
It's like, we have talked about these things. We've gotten Bill Cosby, of all people, into prison.
Yeah, deservedly so.
So we never talked about Bob Saget? Like, nobody ever thought it's time for me to do the same thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, or maybe it was one of those that, like, came out, but it was squashed among all the other stories because God knows there were thousands upon thousands of people.
Well, I guess, who's bigger, Bob Saget or Bill Cosby?
Yeah, Bill Cosby wins that one.
There you go. So it's, you know, even if it did happen, it was probably like, excuse me, Bill Cosby's on the table.
Yeah,
get this off of here, you know?
Yeah, I don't want to say it's insensitive because, of course, those people need to speak up and all that, but at the same time, like, there's a time
how many of them are founded? You know, and it's like, I think we discussed before, how do you weed through the truth versus the, I just want to jump on a bandwagon?
I don't think there are people that are jumping on a bandwagon in the case where they're throwing out things like, I got sexually assaulted. I don't think anybody's claiming fake shit like that. Like, just from a woman's perspective, I would never, ever do that. And I don't think a lot of women would.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the second you start talking about anything sexually negative, the woman is the one who's under scrutiny no matter what the situation
like,
is.
First thing, yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, did it really happen? Or are you just staying up for attention? Like, that's everything that comes out of everyone's mouth the second a woman says anything against a man. But I just don't think that in the moments after TMZ releases his death, before his family was involved, by the way, like, TMZ was like, he died of a drug overdose, and then his family was like, he died? So
what? Yeah.
Everything just came out, like, really fast and really suddenly, and it sucks to see. Like, I just don't like to see it from a I don't know, bystander's perspective. I don't like it.
I had told Taylor, I think people find something about a person and they'll hang on to it until the moment they die.
Yeah, and then maybe they're like, this is my moment to say it because now there's a spotlight on that person, so I'm going to get attention on my thing that I've been wanting to say.
I'm going to go ahead and get mine out of the way now. Not for me, but like my celebrities and what will be said. You ready?
Okay.
When Arnold goes, I already know that we're going to talk about him and his maid and his other child that wasn't with Maria Shriver.
I mean, that's already up and out. You don't think there's like another scandal that's going to...
I think they're just going to be like, remember he wasn't a good guy, and then just bring up this one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go Tom Cruise. I think they're just going to jump on the Scientology boat and just play him up as like the weirdest human of all time.
Yeah. And yeah.
I mean, I'm going to call him now. I already know everything that's going to come out, and we'll see if I'm right what people pick to jump on when they're gone.
So catch our reporting again in the future times when Arnold Schwarzenegger dies and when Tom Cruise dies. Look forward to those days.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Arnold's getting close. I'm going to be so sad.
He's the fittest man on earth. He probably did a lot of drugs, though, to get that fit, didn't he?
Oh, he was on steroid heaven, man.
Yeah, I don't think steroids are good for a human lifespan.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think many people from the 70s that were jacked were not doing that.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure even Loofa Regno was big on steroids at that time.
For a second, I heard Loofa, and I was trying to...
You know, Loofa?
Loofa Regno.
Yeah. My name's Loofa Regno. But, yeah, I don't know. We were just seeing the nonstop stuff, and it's like, I don't know. Can you give it like a week?
Yeah. But I guess in a week the news cycle will be done, and then these people won't get the spotlight that they're seeking.
That's the thing. I feel like everybody threw all this out there now. Are we even going to remember this stuff next week when we record?
Yeah, by the time this episode airs, we're going to forget that Bob Saget's dead, honestly.
Like, I feel like all this news about him is going to have already faded.
Yeah, someone else will have died. Sorry, I shouldn't say that.
we can cut that out.
God, if Arnold Schwarzenegger dies between the time we're recording this and Monday, I'm going to be so upset.
Yeah, so we've lost another one, but that's our third. I think that's a 3, so I think we're in, like, the downswing.
Is that the third one? Betty White, Bob Saget, and who else?
John Madden.
Oh, John Madden, right.
Well, actually, you know what? Surprise one. Oops, surprise.
Oops, all corpses.
But you didn't know about this one. Did you know that Sidney Poitier died?
Yes, yeah, I texted you that the other day. That fucked me up. So sad.
Mr. Tibbs, man. I was talking to my mom about him, and I was like, he was like a legit star.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a pioneer for black actors.
Was he the first black actor to win an Oscar? Did I read that?
He was. Yes, he was.
Sidney Poitier.
He was the first black man to win an Academy Award. I mean, he was a pioneer and, like, a legit star.
Yeah.
There are movies of his that have been, like, remade several times since they came out.
To Sir with Love. Has that been remade at all? Because it should be.
I don't know about that one. I just know, like, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner has been remade.
Oh, yeah.
With Ashton Kutcher.
Yes. I would really love to see, like, a To Sir with Love, but done for the modern age.
I think he died before Bob Saget, but, like, Bob Saget has just been, like, flooding the world.
Yep.
With all the shit coming out, so I hate this corner.
Yeah.
It makes me sad. I would like to crack something and get out of here.
Okay, let's go on over to Teeth Corner.
Oh. That's not our teeth cracking.
I went to the dentist. No, God, no.
Okay.
I went to the dentist. Please clap. I deserve it. Thank you.
How did that go?
Every single time I have to go to the dentist, I, like, whip myself up into a panic over it because every fucking time I go, I'm not gonna talk about bad teeth stuff on here, so everybody, you guys can be good for the next couple of minutes. But, like, every time I go, I feel like I get a lot of work done or I have to spend a lot of money. And so this time I didn't feel like anything was wrong with my teeth. So I was just due for a checkup and I was like, I may as well just go and, like, make sure there's no secret things happening below the surface, you know?
So you don't do the 6-month cleanings?
No, that's what I did today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just a cleaning. I went for my cleaning, and they weren't like, "Hey, we have to do like $600 more worth of work while we're in here."
Ooh, good.
So I was very happy. And the lady who cleaned my teeth, she was like, "Have you ever had braces?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Oh, your teeth are so straight." And I was like, "Thank you."
Oh my God.
So it was a good day at the dentist. A+ from the dental folks.
Next time I go, I'm actually gonna have to ask for work to be done.
Oh no, what do you have to have done?
Well, when I went one time before, I have a filling on, like, the bottom left that he said was, like, buckled. He was like, It's not...
Ugh.
Yeah, he's like, it's not bad. He's like, I mean, it's still good. I'm just gonna heat it up and, like, smash it back in there. So he did, and it's been fine, but, like, when I eat, like, really crunchy stuff, and I bite on that tooth, it does hurt.
Oh no.
So I know, like, it's probably rebuckled, I guess. So
I hate that.
I'm just gonna ask for him to redo it.
Yeah.
But can you just, like, wipe that out and redo it, please? Because it bugs me.
Yeah.
I haven't been in, like, a year and a half.
You should go.
Because I left my job, remember?
Yeah.
So I lost my insurance, and they couldn't see me for, like, the 6-month cleaning until, like, 2 days after I was going to be gone. And so I called my benefits people, and they were like, oh, you lose it as soon as you leave today. So I was like, oh, I got to cancel that appointment. And then I've just never, like, I went 6 months without insurance, and then I got it back, and now it's been a year, and I'm like, I should go, but I never call. I've been to the eye doctor, though.
I need to go to the eye doctor. I haven't been since, like, the before times, so it's time to get my peepers checked on.
I used to always have my dental appointments on my Fridays off.
Yeah.
I get every other Friday off.
Yeah.
So I always did it then, and it would be, like, first thing in the morning, and then boom, done. Happy days. But this year that I've been working, I haven't had those Fridays.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to fucking make an appointment. I go on Fridays. So I just haven't gone.
I always go like early in the morning whenever I can. Like just get it in early so I don't have to think about it all day and stress myself out. I'll just throw up the night before and be fine. And I did almost throw up last night, though. Just working myself up into a fervor over it. And also, I had like 12 of those new plant-based nuggets at KFC. Not sponsored, just passionate. They're really good. They're very chickeny.
Okay.
But I had too many of them. I ordered the 12-pack because I was like, I'll slam like 8 of them. And I got to nugget 4, and I was like, I'm going to fucking die. But I ate all 12 just on principle because they were expensive. So, yeah.
That's like the time that I got... I believe it was 10 Jack in the Box tacos.
Oh my God, those like coin purses full of cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
And when I got to number 6, I was like, oh, I'm done. But there's 4 more, and I ate them, and I was not happy.
No.
So, yeah. People, please don't overeat. It is bad for you.
Don't do it. It's not good for the body or the soul.
We did Free Birds last night and had a burrito, and I was like, I'm hungry. I'm going to get the monster, which is the biggest one. And Taylor was like, for the love of God, don't do that. Get the normal one. And I got the normal one. I ate it. And she goes, how do you feel? And I was like, perfectly full. Thank you.
Yes.
So don't let your eyes be bigger than your stomach, people.
I know.
I do it all the time, though.
I do too. Like I let myself get to the point of hunger, and I'm like, I'm gonna eat 65 chicken nuggets, and actually, no, you're not going to eat 65.
Yeah, that's how I've been lately. Like, I don't know, when I finally decide it's time for lunch, I'm like, well, shit, I'm off work in like 2 hours, and I could just do dinner. So I'll wait, but then I'm fucking ravenously hungry.
Yeah,
you know, and that is not the way to eat because you mess up.
Yeah.
But I am proud of you and your teeth. Good job.
Thank you.
You didn't even get like you need to floss more.
They did say keep flossing. So
okay. So wait. They said keep flossing, and you were like, yes, keep flossing because I don't do that ever. Do you?
Yeah.
Good shit.
Thank you. I started flossing after I had to get a crown, and they were like, you got like a lot of shit happening here if you don't start flossing more. I was like, I will floss after every meal if you need me to.
The fuck is a crown?
What the fuck is a crown?
Yeah, like I don't have a lot going on because I have been like a super big tooth person since like elementary school. I remember this like dentist dude coming in and traumatizing me with bad teeth.
God, I remember that in like elementary school. They came and they showed you like, this is what happens to your teeth, and it's like a kid who has like Swiss cheese teeth, and like, what happened?
Do you suck your thumb? Look what can happen to your teeth.
God, I still remember the diagrams
and
teeth going like straight out of your face.
And I had a friend whose little brother sucked his thumb, and I was like, dude, you're gonna fuck up your teeth, my man. And he was like, leave me alone. And I was like, you don't understand, I saw the photos.
I've seen it all.
No, I try to take like much pride in my teeth.
Yeah.
Like the best compliment that I got definitely wasn't my straight teeth, because I don't have straight teeth.
Oh.
But they said, so on the back of your teeth, they were cleaning and said, wow, you have like ridges in the back of your teeth. And I was like, okay. And she's like, most people's are smooth because they wear them out too much. Like, you still have the ridges. You take good care of your teeth. And that was the back of them.
The back of your, like the inside that points toward your tongue?
Yeah, so like if you lick the back of your back teeth, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like right there. But she was saying it more on my bottom teeth. And so she was saying like I guess I take good enough care of even the back of my teeth.
Okay. Our listeners are all licking their teeth right now.
Well, I guarantee...
I can see you.
I guarantee the people that have, like, more smooth teeth right there, I would say it's probably from, like, chewing ice.
Ugh, like, gross.
Chewing, like, harder things, you know?
Chewing on ice, like, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me.
Like, I used to... Well, I didn't used to, like, just, like, eat ice. Like, if I had ice in my cup, I'd eat, like, 1 or 2 after, but they'd always be small by then, you know?
Okay.
I've never just gotten, like, ice chips and just, like, gone to town, you know?
Yeah.
But I would imagine it's people that are, like, chewing ice that like wear out their teeth like that in the way that she meant, you know?
Don't chew on ice. I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Don't chew it.
That was my best compliment. My worst one was when she asked if I smoked.
Oh, no.
And I said, no, why? And she's like, well, there's like a little bit of like yellow stuff. And I was like, I drink a lot of coffee and tea. And she's like, that'll do it.
It's the peppers is what it is.
It wasn't the peppers. It was the tea. The Dr. Peppers cause a stickiness.
Oh, sticky teeth.
So like, she was like, all right, bite down. And so when I bite down, she's like, now open them. You could kind of like feel them separate in a way.
Gross. Like when you chew on Starburst or whatever?
Kind of, but not like so bad. Like think about that in the most like infinitesimally tiny stick.
Okay.
And she was like, that's like mostly like a soda residue kind of thing.
Ah, all right.
And so I actually like down took my intake of peppers, you know.
Down took the intake. Got it.
And I do check that sometimes. Like I'll like just bite my teeth. And if I feel anything like that, I fucking brush them like immediately.
Okay.
Like mid pepper, if I feel that, I will brush my teeth. Just ruin a pepper.
God.
So, yeah. Dentist is a weird time.
A crown, for your question that happened like 10 minutes ago.
Sorry.
A crown is like when the cavity is too close to the gum line, or at least this is what happened for me. I had like a cavity right on my gum line, and they can fill it, but like it gets difficult and they fall out a lot because that area of your tooth just kind of stays wet, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like right where your cheek is.
Okay.
And like a cavity is more prone to fall out when it's wet. And so they just like, if you don't like teeth stuff, fast forward like 30 seconds, I'll be quick about this. They grind down the entire tooth and then like get a cap that's in the shape of your tooth and just stick it over. So it's like a fake tooth essentially, but it's on top of your real roots.
I thought it was more not so much ground down, but just like I kind of just thought it was like a covering of sorts, but I didn't know it was like kind of a more procedure like that.
Yeah, like it's not a fun procedure. I don't recommend it unless you have to have it done, in which case afterward you're going to feel really good because my tooth feels fine now.
Again, fast forward real quick if you don't want to hear. Have you ever had a root canal?
No, and I never ever want one.
Neither have I, but people seem to have them so often.
I had a friend at work who had one, and she was like, yeah, it took like 2 hours. And I was like, 2 hours? Like they're like in your root, and I can't. Like if I ever have to have a root canal, I'm gonna tell them to fucking put me out for it, like they did for my wisdom teeth. I don't want to be awake for that shit.
I know that this is a weird tangent, guys, but like I told you, I like my teeth. Do you brush twice a day?
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't brush like after every meal like some people?
No.
Yeah, I do morning and night. But I've known people at work that like they bring like a toothbrush to the office. Yeah. And then they would like eat lunch and then go brush their teeth again. Yes,
I have seen that. Like in the bathroom, somebody will just whip a toothbrush out of their purse, and I'm like, "Are you good?" Like, they used to make those things like in the early 2000s. It was like a little plastic toothbrush that had like a little like dollop of mint in the center of it, and it was so tiny. Those like Swispers or something, right? What was those called?
I can't even remember, but I do.
I loved those, and I used to use those after lunch, but I don't think they make those anymore, unless they still do, in which case, please send me with the name, and I will buy them.
They say, you can brush your teeth too much.
Yeah,
so that's why I try to do just morning and night.
I know. Teeth are so fragile and sensitive and delicate and precious. You only get one, well, you get 2 sets, but you only get, like, one good set.
Yeah, you get one set that matters.
You get a practice set, which just fucking falls out when you're a child and nothing matters, and then you get the real set, and you have to be an adult about them, and it sucks.
Anyway, over
being
teeth.
An adult.
Okay.
You sent me a message about some gray hairs that you've been getting.
Why are you so mean to me? Dude. Okay, I had one gray hair.
Yeah.
Well, I had 2, and then I plucked one. And then I was like...
and then 3 grew back in its place.
I was like, I'm just going to groom this one and just keep it forever, right?
Okay.
So I just, like, kept this one. And I honestly don't know when it happened, but yesterday? Or, like, the day before, I was blinded in the bathroom. And I was like, ooh, what is wrong with my face? And in my soul patch, like right underneath my bottom lip, the little triangle thing I got there, right?
Uh-huh.
I counted 4.
4?
Fucking 4 of them. So actually your math tracks because I
Hey.
plucked 1, 3 would have come back because I had 1 already.
Yep.
And
the
then,
Great Hydra.
Before the show, I was looking at them trying to like make sure that it was 4 so I had the right number to tell you guys. And I found 1 more on my chin.
Oh my god.
So I've got another one. That's 5.
That's
5 now.
That's old age. That's what happens.
Shut up. It's not real. I drink peppers.
I was we were driving over to my sister's house because her children are all born in January. We were having a birthday party for all of them.
Okay.
And I was just like casually like playing with the hair at the back of my head, and I pulled my hand away, and just some loose hairs often come out. And one of them was like coarse white spiral. I was like, whose hair is this? It was so weird. I was like, this is not my hair. This is a bog witch hair. Like, it was so spirally and bizarre.
Whose grandma touched me?
Yeah. It was like one drachma to hell hair back there. It was just so coiled and springy and coarse. It was like another person had visited my head and left little fairy hairs.
I don't think the story's going to go the way that I wanted. Because is that the end of the story?
That's the end of the story.
Damn. I was really hoping...
What did you want to happen?
You were going to say, like, you were, like, playing with the back of your neck. You pulled it out and was like, what is this? And then Richard looks over and goes, oh, my favorite hair from back there. No. And then you're like, oh, it is mine.
God. I have, like, one silver hair up top, and it's just, I've had it for, I think, a year or 2 now.
Okay.
I got it, like, when I turned 30. I woke up and I was like, oh, a gray hair. Fun. And it's just the one. But, like, now I know there's more happening in the back of my head. And I'm like, oh, no. What's going on back there that I don't know about?
Yeah, I'm not about this. Like, I was, like, into my 1, right? Like, ooh, yeah, 1. Can't wait to see his brothers. Now they're here. And I'm like, go away. I hate it.
Yeah, it's bad times. This is what happens when you hit your 30s.
Yeah, I'm not
the
into
teeth
it.
start to go, you get the gray hairs.
So far, the rest of the body's good. I'm not, like, rickety yet. Although, when I do jumping jacks, because I told you I'm trying to get more fit, right?
Do you often do jumping jacks? Like, is that your go-to exercise?
That's, like, one of my, like... Because, like, it's just at home, and it's a good cardio thing.
Yeah, sure.
You know? Yeah, I do jumping jacks a lot.
All right, jumping jack flash.
But when I hit about 50, my ankle starts popping. And then it becomes like I'm playing the fucking maracas while I'm doing jumping jacks, and that's the whole thing I hate.
Yeah.
I cannot stand that.
Dude, my shoulder, my right shoulder has been fucked up now for some time.
Yeah.
I started getting a little bit popping on my left shoulder, and I'm so worried that one's going to also deteriorate on me. I need to go to physical therapy for my right shoulder. I'm going to call tomorrow and, like, see about what I can do, because I'm...
Yeah, you're gonna wind up needing Dr. Octopus limbs to help you out.
I want that, actually.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'll keep you informed on the status of my deteriorating body.
I will say, physical therapy works. Taylor had that whole thing with her, like, she fell out of a tree when she was young.
Yeah.
And was never taken to the doctor, so it healed wrong, right?
Ugh. Yeah.
And it started hurting, like, really bad, and they put her in physical therapy, and then she got, like, right as rain.
Good, okay.
That's insane to me, because it's like, you didn't really do anything, but I guess it does, so...
Yeah, I always thought physical therapy was, like, for people that just had a surgery, or people got into a car wreck and need to learn to walk again, but, like...
No, it's
apparently you can just go.
My arm hurts, yeah.
Yeah.
So, actually, her back's been hurting her, and I think she was hoping to be put in some kind of physical therapy class for that, too.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
Hopefully it goes well.
Well, I'm feeling old and withered. I want to take a break.
Yeah, let's go get refreshed.
I need a break.
Please, I'm too old for this.
So, I was looking at the list, and I had a problem with some shows on it, but I'm realizing that I'm wrong in my thought process.
Okay, why?
But, so, sitcom. What does that mean?
Situational comedy.
Yes. And I was like, is a cartoon really a sitcom?
I don't think so.
And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, so number 2 on the list was Rick and Morty. And I was like, that's not a sitcom.
No.
But then I saw The Simpsons and was like, that is a sitcom. Because each episode is a different situation, which is like a normal one. And I was like, actually, Rick and Morty is, because they never really continue many things.
Well, I mean, if you're going to make that case, then like Tom and Jerry is a sitcom. Every single episode's a different situation, you know?
I mean, kind of.
Where do we draw the line?
Exactly. Well, for that one, I would say that it is, because it's still a comedy.
What, Tom and Jerry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I mean, technically, maybe it's length. Like, a sitcom needs to be, like, a full-length episode. Because, like, Tom and Jerry's, like, 5-10 minutes apiece. You know?
Okay. Yeah, so those are, like, shorts, cartoon shorts.
I would say that, yeah. I think it has to be based on length as well.
Okay.
And no jokes. Alright, guys, if you enjoyed that little bit of the pre-ramble, you can get that full bonus episode by going over to patreon.com/YMBTOAP and signing up to be a patron. We would really appreciate it. All the support you guys give us, it helps out more than you know. It really, really does. And if you want just that extra little bit, you want to be the ultimate supporter, you can go out to the Yimtope Apparel store and grab yourself some Yimtope gear. It is getting frigid out here in Texas right now. Those hoodies, they warm. Go get a hoodie. I need a hoodie. I'm about to buy one as soon as I'm done with this. One. Yeah, I need one again. The link to that is in our show notes. And again, just really, thank you guys so much. We appreciate all that you do for us. We hope you guys stick around with us for all the foreseeable years to come. And let's get you on back to that regularly scheduled content. I saw a TikTok.
What'd you see?
It's always with the TikTok. Okay. What is up with, like, our generation, or, like, our age group and TikTok, man? TikTok's big with us.
I think Gen Z is mad because we're kind of like the boomers swooping in on Facebook. We're taking over TikTok, and Gen Z is like, this was mine. Get off.
Yeah, well, we're better at it, so. We're better at it. I saw one today that I really thought you might find interesting.
Oh?
So it was a guy talking about the Great Resignation.
Yes.
You know, the whole thing from, like, 2020 and this past year, 2021, it was pretty big. So he was talking about kind of what the deal was with it. I guess 60 Minutes, they did a segment on it. Now, when I hear 60 Minutes, I'm imagining, okay, you know what? I guess I'm not old enough for 60 Minutes. I have seen it before.
Yeah.
It kind of went over my head that 60 Minutes is actually like 4 different stories within the 60 Minutes.
Yeah. I always thought it was just like a 60-minute program. Dive. Yeah, like on one thing, you know?
Yeah. So he said they were talking about the Great Resignation on 60 Minutes, and I was like, oh, woof. Found out about this like right before we're going to record. We don't have time to watch an hour-long show on this. But I was waiting around, so I was like, well, I'm going to look it up. It's 13 minutes.
Yeah, it ain't bad at all.
Oh, I can fucking watch that. So I watched this little 60-minute story on the Great Resignation. So if you don't know what that is, it is millennials, Gen Z. It's all of these workers that have decided it's not worth it right now. And they are leaving their toxic positions to go pursue something that makes them happy.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to break it down because I didn't really like write notes about that thing, but I kind of want to break it down into some of the weird things they did with the topic.
Okay. We'll also put a link to the TikTok and the 60-minute segment in our show notes if you're interested in watching those.
So I was really into watching the segment because of the TikTok, because I know that media can be pretty colored, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like the way a person views a media and then talks about it to another set of people, they can easily spin stuff.
Yeah, well, so he made it sound like it was a hardcore, this is what we think about this topic and it was like against the people who have been quitting.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I took away from it, is that it was like very pro like
employer.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I really want to see that because I can't believe the discussions are out there already. Well, people don't want to work and all that shit, right?
Right.
So I was like, wow, like boomers really took to 60 minutes to really just like knock it in on it, you know? I was like,
fucking
wow.
rail on our culture or whatever.
Let's see. And it really wasn't that at all.
It wasn't as spicy as the TikTok made it sound, but it was still like you described it best before we started the show. The way you put it is that it kind of like walked the line and gave both points of view. And in the beginning, they weighted it heavily toward the employer, saying like employers are losing people, people are quitting. Why doesn't anybody want to work? And then at the end, they kind of went on the perspective of like, if you can work for yourself or if you can find something that is more your passion, why not do that in this day and age?
Yeah, because the TikTok made it sound like they made points about it, but never stopped to ask why.
Yeah.
Which is blatantly wrong, because they did ask why, but I don't think they asked the right whys.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The why we need to ask is, why don't we want to work? Is it because you're not being paid enough?
Yeah.
They just said, why do people want to pursue their own passions? Because that sounds a lot better, dude.
Yeah, honestly.
You know?
For our listeners, I want to break down just a couple of the high notes from this. So they put up some statistics on this 60-minute segment, and they said that the hospitality sector and the retail sector are the industries with like the highest percentage of quitters. Let me just list a few of the sectors that have the most openings right now, and then maybe you guys can string together some common threads. So the most openings: education, healthcare, retail, hotels, and restaurants. So perhaps in the pandemic, have we seen these industries affected in any way? Can you imagine being a teacher right now or working in healthcare?
Okay, well, working in healthcare would be
I have a friend who works at a clinic, not even like an ER or something, just a clinic. And he's been pulling 16-hour shifts for the last like week. And he's a fucking wreck. And I feel so bad for him. I just want to hold him and let him cry on me.
Yeah.
I have another friend who works down at the Veterans Association as a nurse. And he is seeing like an insane amount of people coming in right now with COVID. Like just, I don't know if you guys have looked at the charts lately, but like there's this new variant out there that's just kind of wreaking havoc on the population, especially here in Texas. It is rough here in Texas right now because Governor Abbott in all of his ways. I don't have time to get into what a fucking mess he is. But yeah, so I just looking at this chart of like, why does nobody want to work retail or in restaurants right now? Like, are you guys thinking? Do you know, let's imagine together why somebody might not want to work in a restaurant location at this moment in time.
So actually, when I heard the like service industry and hospitality industry, I didn't even take the COVID thought process into that. Honestly,
what were you thinking?
I just thought straight up, we're tired of like Karen type people.
Oh, that too, man. Like,
because you combine COVID with the fact that everybody thinks they can just walk all over people in those industries. Why would you ever want it?
There is unprecedented levels of entitlement happening right now in the generations above ours, and I don't understand it. Like, I genuinely want to know why it is that the baby boomer generation feels so strongly that they can just like yell at literal children behind cash registers. I don't get it. Like, of course, other generations are guilty of this too, but I feel like specifically baby boomers, we're seeing a lot of that in the last couple of years. And I don't know if it's just like people are snapping in the pandemic, like they're more fragile for some reason, or
I think
it's just
always been this way.
Maybe, and maybe the pandemic is just making it worse. Like, I know in my retail job, I worked at Dillard's for some time, and like the clientele at Dillard's is all middle-aged white women. So like maybe I'm biased, but I feel like
Yeah.
everybody who yelled at me ever was a middle-aged white woman. So there's a lot of entitlement happening, and I wish I knew why. And I'm sorry if you're a baby boomer and you're feeling offended right now. Write us an entitled email, yimtope@gmail.com. That's ymbtoap@gmail.com. Tell me why you feel entitled.
I think it's not so much that it's happening more. I just think now that we're in, the smartphone era, it's more easily captured.
Okay. Yeah.
We're just seeing it for the first time more, because really,
yes,
it's just like happening, and you're like, what was going on over there? Like, did you hear that weird stuff? And it's all like word of mouth. But now we can straight up watch this person scream at you because they want 2 cents taken off this thing for no reason other than that's what I want.
That's a really good point, because there's been a whole thing about police brutality too. Like, it has always existed.
That has always been there, yes.
But now it is more highly documented because we have cell phone footage of it happening out in the field. You can see it physically with your eyes.
Exactly. I think we're just seeing it more because we have a way to show it now.
Yeah. And a way to disseminate it with Twitter. Like, things get so fast out on Twitter.
I can't really think of a time, because, I've never worked a retail job, thankfully.
Yeah.
But, I can't really think of a time that I saw somebody acting like that in a store.
Yeah.
But it happened.
Oh, for sure.
Like, coupon clippers are not just a thing of today. Like, that's been going on for forever, too.
Yeah.
So, they probably threw a fit when their coupons didn't work right.
Right.
It's been going on. And so, now that everybody kind of knows how ridiculous that looks and how much people just honestly rely on screaming at you and getting what they want, people are like, then I'm just not going to work there and let you have it.
Yeah. Like, when presented the option of working at Dillard's or making a Patreon or an OnlyFans or an Etsy or any number of other things that could get you an income, like some maybe even just a modest income that doesn't quite meet retail. It doesn't give you health insurance or anything like that, but it's still like, it's income,
Yeah.
It's you can put stuff out in the world that you want to put out in the world. You don't have to go to work and I need to meet my quota. I have to sell that fucking comforter set. I have to get these dishes to middle-aged white women. I think that there's a definite uptick in this phrase that I absolutely hate, which is hustle culture.
Okay.
I think that especially in Gen Z, there are so many people that are figuring out ways to make money that even our generation
are very unconventional.
Yeah. Yeah. Super unconventional. You can make money on the internet doing just about anything these days. And I think that we're still seeing people invent new ways of making money and new things to sell. You don't have to sell a physical product. Cameo is a brand new thing that came out, and that one is mostly celebrities making extra pocket money for whatever reason. But
okay.
That's another thing that you wouldn't have thought would have been sold even 10 years ago,
Yeah.
There's constantly new sources of income cropping up, and I think Gen Z is going to be the generation to pioneer that field and say we don't actually need traditional jobs. We can just be an influencer or whatever, just be a person on the internet and make money off of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a job title attached to it. There's so much different weird things you can do for cash. Not all of them. I know this is, it's sounding shady, you're selling sex on the internet or something.
I'm sorry, not everything's so heinous.
Not everything's so heinous. Yeah, there's people make money selling fucking everything, dude.
See, I'm thinking that's why I didn't take the COVID look in this segment, because they never really bring COVID up.
Yeah.
They pretty much take it to your hustle route, where everybody just wants to feel like they have more say in their job.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, this Great Resignation wasn't even so much about the fact of this pandemic, although we kind of figured out the hustle route, because what'd they say? It was in 2020, 20 million jobs disappeared in a month or two.
Something like that, yeah.
And
the
we had to adapt.
Yes, and almost everything now has gone remote as well. So they had a really interesting stat that it fascinated me. So did you?
Oh, I definitely picked up on that stat.
So 1 out of 67 jobs pre-pandemic were remote, and now 1 out of 7 jobs are remote.
That's crazy.
That is nuts to me. That's like 10 times improved.
Yeah.
I can't. If you have the capability to get a job that is remote, why would you ever want to work in a restaurant in person? Why would you ever want to sell pillows at Dillard's? Why would you ever want to face another human being if you can be at home making cash doing whatever? Quality analysis, payroll, anything.
And if I could just stay home, why would I want to go to, let's say, Dillard's for somebody to scream at me?
Yes. Why would you want to? Like, even a customer service job, if you have to be on the phone at home.
Because people are just as mean there.
They are. But, like, if you can do it from the comfort of your home, in pajamas, with your cat in your lap,
yeah,
you'd much rather get yelled at on the phone in that environment than in person over a retail counter.
I feel like this always turns into the TikTok show, but I saw another TikTok.
What kind of TikTok?
It was a guy... So it's like he's playing the boss and then the worker, and he goes, okay, it's time for you to go back to the office. And he goes,
oh my God.
Why? And he's like, well, you'll feel more productive in an office setting. And he goes, actually, I'm more productive at home. Kind of, if you look at my stats.
Believe it or not.
You will be able to collaborate with your coworkers. I literally talked to nobody for this job. Your computer is way more advanced in the office. I have PowerPoint on this one, and that's pretty much all I use. And then he goes, look, dude, we just bought a new lease, and we need to get people in there to justify it.
Yes.
And I 100% believed that one.
That is fully what's happening. Like, so many companies are doing, like, hybrid work. Like, you can work half in the office and half at home, and they're cycling out their employees because they were able to cancel the lease on, like, half the building maybe, or, like, they'll subletting it out to another company, but they still need people in the seats, the other half of the time.
Actually, my company, the building that I used to be in, we own, like, the entire building. Like, we rented out both floors in both wings, right?
Wow.
We have a tiny subsection of one floor now. Like, they got rid of all of it. And other people have moved in, so it's like, well, there's no chance of you coming back now because there's nowhere for you to go.
Remote work is so infinitely better than anything you could have me do in an office. Like, if I'm at home, I'm more likely to work through if I have, like, a flu or something that I could work through at home but not wanting to go into the office. I'm more likely to want to come into work, like, regardless of traffic, Like, I'm not going to have to think about traffic. I don't have to think about tolls, maintenance on my car, getting gas. That's a lot of money that I as an employee am saving, and that you as an employer don't have to worry about, because I'm not going to call in like, I got a flat tire, I have to take a day today. Well, I don't have time. Okay, well, I guess I'm fired. Like, there's a lot of variables.
That was in that TikTok too, because he was like you'll get to do this, and he was like, actually, my subway is like always delayed, plus I could get COVID.
Yes.
So it's like, I mean, okay, so I pretty much had, like, annual sicknesses. I was always sick at least 2 to 3 times a year at the same times every year.
You always get a fucking cold because somebody has a kid in school, and then the kid gives it to the parent. The parent brings it to the office, and they give it to all their coworkers, and then all their coworkers take it home to their spouses, and their spouses get sick.
I haven't been sick once in 2 years.
No.
I'm not even fucking kidding. I have not been sick once.
Yeah, imagine that. Like, not being around other human beings. You don't get sick.
Yeah. I thought I was a sickly person. Turns out I had people.
Yeah. Another industry that they covered in this 60-minute segment that I thought was like, they just skimmed across the top of it. They talked about construction and how there's huge openings in the construction industry. And they were like, well, why are there so many openings? The construction industry, I've actually done research on this just on my own time, because I've always found it kind of like fascinating how construction projects seem to just stretch on for years and years and never fucking go anywhere, especially on like I-35 in Texas. It's always under construction. So construction in general as an industry has been on a very slow decline since they started tracking it back in 2000.
Okay.
And it's a much larger crisis of, like, there's just been a general labor shortage in construction. And there's a lot of research saying that, like, skilled labor jobs are in general having a labor crisis because millennials and Gen Z even have been raised to know that, like, if you take a job in skilled labor or unskilled labor or what have you, it's less than, you know, it's almost worse than flipping burgers. Like, you should go to college. You should get
like
a degree.
You're blue collar now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to want to work construction. Like, it's not a job that somebody aspires to. And I think that sucks because my dad is like a bricklayer. You know, he grew up building homes and shit. Like, my whole family is like blue collar workers.
I would say that's something to be proud of. There's people that are genuinely affected by the work that you've done.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the construction industry, like, think about all the shit that they've gone through. So it's not a safe environment for workers, like, to be out and about with your other construction workers. It's easy to get COVID because you're just, like, out in the environment all day and you're around other people all the time. So, of course, it's a highly transmissible environment. And the industry has survived through a couple of different crashes. So we had the Great Recession, which happened in, like, the early 2000s with Bush and 9/11 and all that shit. And we had the housing bubble. So they weren't building a lot of houses at that time when the housing market crashed. And now we're having the pandemic, which is making it really, really hard to find affordable housing. So people are moving out to, like, tiny towns where it's much more affordable to live and you can work from home and you don't have to think about, like, making rent in a $3,500 apartment.
Yeah.
They're not building new apartment buildings. And now we're on the, like, precipice, just, like, right on the cusp of another housing bubble. And I'm just wondering, like, is the construction industry ever going to recover as a whole from, like, this repeated series of events that just seem destined to kill it, you know?
Too bad my mom's not here because she worked in construction accounting for 30 years, so she's been right there watching it rise and fall all this time, right?
I'm sure she has, like, such a perspective on this.
But, like, she's seen many times, like, when business is good and you're just building nonstop, they hire, I mean, tons of people, and then as soon as it goes down, they literally skeleton crew it again. Like,
yes,
it's a highly fluctuating, like, number of workers. It's not like they're always short. It's just they're constantly building up and then going, oh, we've done too much work. Now there's no work, so everybody go away. You know?
Yeah, and when you build a whole industry on that, and then you tell kids, like, you should want more than that, and then you wonder, why don't we have construction workers? Like, maybe it's because we've been attacking the industry from several angles for the last 2 decades.
Well, I also saw this, and I don't want to say where.
Was it on TikTok?
It was on TikTok.
Okay.
But it was like it was like something that was on like a news station. I think it was more like a local news station. I don't even think it was like CNN or something.
Okay.
But they brought up an interesting facet of, like, labor workers like that.
Yeah.
Most labor workers are immigrants.
Yes.
And they were like, I want you guys to look at this trend. And so they were showing how many immigrants have come into our country and how it's slowly been declining.
Yeah.
Especially, like, when Trump came in and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. And all you fuckers chanted to build the goddamn wall. And now you're like, why can't I get a house built? Like, who do you want to build it? The children that you raised to not want to have a construction job, or the immigrant that you kicked out of the fucking country?
Yeah. So there's, like, I mean, dude, it was like 1/10 of the number of people have come into the country within the past, like, 10 years.
It's ridiculous.
Like, it was crazy. So low. And the majority of workers in that industry are not native-born people. It's mostly immigrant workers. So now that we're not letting those people in, there's less people doing the job. And since they hold the majority in the job, there's no one doing it now.
Yeah. It's wild to me that, like, people don't make these connections. It's like everything is interconnected, and you can't
Yeah.
want one thing politically and then be sad like 6 steps down the line when it affects you in a way that you didn't foresee. Like, think about your actions. They have consequences.
That's why when I discuss most like political topics, I have a hard time giving like a defined quote unquote answer, because there's a workaround where that doesn't work. So like I've talked about scalping before.
Yes.
And like we had come up with like a solution. Like me and Taylor had like, I don't remember what it was, but we like hashed it out. Like, what would be the way to fix it, right?
Okay.
And we had an answer. Here was the response. And like 5 minutes later, I was like, well, if that were the case, I would do this and now I could circumvent it. And I found a way that that answer doesn't work now. Like, there's no one answer that covers every single niche case. You can cover the majority of a problem, but you can't cover everything relating to a problem. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we have a problem with immigration or whatever, so this is what we're going to do. And that might cover this portion of the problem, but you didn't look at this part now. Like, your umbrella covers a little bit. There's still the rest of that rain.
Yeah.
You know? Like you said, it's crazy how interconnected all of it is. Right. So it's this Great Resignation shit, that's actually what bothered me about this. Did you notice it was only about Greensboro, North Carolina?
Yeah, it was like really located like centrally to that town. I'm like, did they just, I guess they just interviewed people in that town to see what affected them.
I was like, is that where 60 Minutes is based? Like, what's the deal?
Maybe.
Because to me, if it's a national problem, why would I only talk to one town?
Yeah.
And why would I only talk to employers when it's, as they put it in the thing, a worker problem?
Right. Yeah, a worker problem. I really hated that. Like, another piece of it that struck me, I wish they had gone deeper into it, is the fact that childcare costs right now, or just childcare, like,
childcare
logistics.
Forever,
yeah, are ridiculously high, unaffordable, unattainable for people that might have multiple children, especially if you're working a job that is, like, lower on the economic scale, you know? Like,
I even think just middle class probably can't afford to do childcare well.
Yeah, and especially right now, I mean, so many daycares and even schools are just shutting down because of the pandemic, or they're open, but like your kid's going to get COVID if they go in. Like, good fucking luck. Try to strap a mask on a 3-year-old and let them go all day with that. They'll rip it right off once they get out of your eyes. But there's so much that is affecting women in the workforce right now, and millions and millions of women are out of work because of childcare costs and childcare planning. Like, I think that other cultures that have a more like family-centric way of living, like people that still live with their extended family, you know? Yeah. Kind of like it takes a village to raise a child sort of thing. You can leave your kid at home because someone's going to be there to care for them. Like, you have, I don't know, a grandma or a retired uncle that can take care of your child while you go to work in the industry or whatever. But here in America, the whole thing is like, you have to move out and get a home and have a job and a spouse and your kids, and you have to have childcare for your kids. Your kids have to go to a nice school. You have to have a nanny. Like, everything is based on having a stable, solid income and being able to go to work. Yeah. And we're no longer like in that environment. The American dream as we know it is both dying and being reborn as this new many-faced.
It's totally different now. Yeah.
It's completely different than the prior generations. And I think that's natural. You know, we shouldn't always have the American dream of the picket fence and the 2.5 children and a dog sort of a thing. Yeah. Like, every generation should have their own version of an American dream. And I think for our generation right now, there was one thing that the person they interviewed, her name was Karen Kimbrough. She's like the LinkedIn chief economist or something.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing that she said that like drew me was that people right now are trying to find out what makes their heart sing. And I'm like, yes, that is like the chase your joy sort of thing. You have to find what you're willing to put your time into in order to make an income. We want to work to live, not live to work, right?
I think she actually opened her interview with that we were always a live to work society until recently.
Yeah.
I think she even said that.
Yeah. And I think that's absolutely correct. I think that we're definitely on the shift now for the better, where people are trying to figure out, like, what can I do to make the world work for me? Not necessarily, I need to find my place as a cog in the machine so I can have my white picket fence.
Well, like, I think it's all about too much progress. We're trying to be something new all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was the Netherlands or somebody. They're doing those 4-day work weeks or whatever.
Yes, and it's 6-hour days. I want that.
And so I'm sitting here thinking, what is the world losing out on or not gaining because they're not working so much? Like, what difference is going to be made with that time? Like, what is going to change the world because they worked that much more, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas we're always chasing the next thing. I think we've talked about cell phones on an older show, how we have this annualized cell phone thing now. But in a year, not much changes, so they go, oh, we move the camera. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Because we're all about progress without a meaningful progression.
Yes, like we just need the next thing.
We don't need the next thing. What if we had a good thing, and then one day somebody came across a better thing, and it just changed the game? That would feel so much better than, okay, here's a slightly better thing.
Yeah.
If I got, like, a true, just like, what a difference. Oh my God. You know, that would mean a lot more to me than, hey, we made the zoom on this camera, like, 0.5% better.
Yeah.
$1,000, please. No, that is not a meaningful progression. We should be striving for meaningful progression, not just progression for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And that's what we do here, for sure.
Yes.
I wanted to go back to the childcare real quick, because I looked up this statistic for you.
Sure.
In Texas, the monthly average for childcare is $777 per month.
That even sounds low.
Well, so that's infant care, and it's actually cheaper when the kid gets older. So, like, the most expensive one that I see for 2021, because, of course, there's not one for 2022 yet, it's like $800 a month.
Okay.
That is, for some people, both your car payments.
Yeah, I mean, that's a life-changing amount of money right there.
Yeah. And on this other site, it says, because you brought up a nanny, I can't even with this number. But in 2020, the average childcare cost for one child to have a nanny was $600 a week.
Yeah, that's about what I'm imagining when I think about childcare costs.
Like, excuse me?
Right, like that is
you want me to
half of a paycheck. Like,
yeah, you want me to spend more than my car payment that I do a month every week?
Yeah.
Excuse that. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Big fuck that.
Mm-mm.
And the Pope calls people who don't have kids fucking selfish. Fuck you, Pope.
Yeah.
You heard it here on Yumtope. Fuck you, Pope.
You know, I keep hearing that children are for the rich now.
Yeah, they honestly are. Like, it... I don't even want to get into it. I'm gonna get like...
We're talking about the Great Resignation here.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I've been hearing that, and I'm like, dude, there is no way I could afford a child today.
No. Like, my sister has 4, and I'm like, how do you do it? I have 3 cats, and, like, that's too much. I don't...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like when you have them, it's not like, well, we're doing it well. It's like, well, I mean, they gotta live, so...
Yeah,
we do what it is, you know?
That's exactly it. Like, all your money goes to your kids first, and then the rest is just, like, stuff that you can move around to buy food and stuff.
Basically, you know?
Yeah.
But so anyway, separate topic for a later show.
Yeah,
Kids and how awful
about...
they are.
Just how the general public cannot afford children.
So the whole Great Resignation thing, they said, which I thought this was interesting. They made employees sound like the housing market. So they were like, right now, it's swinging to the employee side. We're in like an employee market. They rule. they like rule the roost.
Yeah,
and I completely disagree. I have never heard of an employee being like, I'll work for you, but give me all of this. And they go, okay.
Right. Like,
they always say, get the fuck out of here.
I'm constantly under a corporate thumb. Like, I don't care what company I move to. Like, if I'm trying to get hired and I'm like, give me 5 weeks vacation, they'll be like, we don't do that here.
They'll be like, no.
Yeah. Like, you're an entry-level employee. I'm not going to do that. Like, this is the salary you'll get. You'll work in the office, hybrid, whatever. And that's our terms. And if you don't want it, then go suck eggs or go work as a construction worker. I don't give a shit. Like that's, to me, that's what corporates are saying.
Yes, I know that there are some jobs where you can do that if you're super specialized. So, like, I know that in my field, apparently poli-sci employees, like political science stuff, is super in demand. And we've had jobs that are, like, have been unfilled for, like, a year or more. Jeez. So when somebody comes along, because there's not many, I guess, poli-sci majors and stuff, right? They work to, like, keep them. But that was even before all this started.
Yeah.
If you are listening to this show now and you literally just, like, steamrolled your employer, strong-arm them into giving you everything you want, I would like to know, because I bet we hear nothing.
I would like to hear about it, honestly.
Because I don't think that's true. And they portrayed that in this, like, oh, yeah, employees, they got employers by the balls and can just get whatever they want, signing bonuses and everything their heart desires. I truly doubt that.
Like, the job market is good if you have an industry that is hiring that you want to move up in. Like, if you're in an industry where there are openings and you can hop around to different employers and get different offers and be like, well, this company offered me 55, can you offer me 60? Like, that's a thing. But that's kind of always been a thing in those industries.
See, yeah, they're talking about it like these service industries are doing that for their people. I'm sorry, Jack in the Box is not working to bring anybody in.
You know what I actually saw the other day? I saw a poster at a McDonald's that was like, we're hiring. We'll give you a free iPhone if you just come work for us and stay for 6 months pending all of these different things. So, like, they're offering a free iPhone. It may be like an iPhone 2 or something, but you have to work at McDonald's for 6 months and you have to meet all these performance requirements and stuff. Because I was like, what are they doing to these kids to get them the free iPhone? Like, how? Because it's not like you sign the application like, yes, I'm going to work here, and then they just hand you a brand new iPhone. That's not happening.
That would be amazing.
It would be. And that would be like what they're talking about in this segment. Like, that's a worker's market. Yeah.
But that's not happening.
No, I mean, it's a capitalist society. It is always going to be the market of the employer. I don't care who you fucking are. It is always, there's always somebody above you who's got their thumb just pressing on you saying, like, you're going to work for me and this is the terms.
I have never, I mean, I've even tried to just be like, can I get a little something? When I've moved jobs, and it's always like, why are you speaking?
Yes.
Shut up and work. And it's like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So that, I think, is more in line with how the TikTok portrayed it, you know, where, like, they're kind of, like, saying something, and it's like, no, not really.
Yeah.
But he didn't even mention that one. I think it's a good watch. I think everybody needs to just kind of take a little peek. It was 13 minutes.
Yeah, it was really informative, and if you guys have some opinions on it, especially you folks in the Patreon Discord, we would absolutely love to hear what you guys have to say.
I did my Great Resignation.
You sure did.
Previous to when this is talking about, because this made it sound like that movement is 2021. Not 2020, because I did mine in 2020.
Yeah.
But I guess one last thing about it that I found interesting.
Okay.
That they didn't really even talk about too much. But they try to blame the fact that nobody wants to work on unemployment. And that people are making more money staying at home.
Sit at home and live off the cash of the state. Like, son, we just talked about healthcare and childcare.
Yeah. Like,
people aren't doing that intentionally.
That. Yeah.
No, if you have like a couple of kids at home, you're not just going to like sit on welfare and like make ends meet with the $300 a month or whatever the fuck Uncle Sam gives you for being unemployed.
Yeah.
Like, that made me angry.
It was nice when it was like a little higher up when COVID first started.
Sure.
But even then, it wasn't as much as having a job.
The amount of people that like literally cheat the system is so low that it's negligible, you know? Like,
yeah.
The system is there as a safety net for people that cannot get a job. People that are like let go or fired or whatever, fall on hard times. It is there for them as a net of like, this is the bare minimum that we're going to give you to survive until you find the next thing that's going to keep you gainfully employed.
Yeah.
And people always try to spin it to be like, everyone in this world is freeloading on the system and getting food stamps and trading them for cigarettes. It's wild out there on the streets.
Yeah, I know. And so they talk about it that way, and then they go, but check this out. When people's benefits ran out, more people quit. People didn't rush to just go grab the first job they could find.
Yeah.
So then the interviewer goes, what does that mean? And they for real were just like, I don't know.
Oh.
We don't know what that means.
Yeah.
It means the jobs aren't working.
Yeah.
I think the LinkedIn lady was actually really on the nose with her stuff. She was like, America's burnt out.
Yes.
Like, she seemed like she was the most objective about, because she was just looking at the numbers and telling you what they were. She wasn't saying like, it's not, people are lazy or they're being stupid. She was like, I mean, this is what we're seeing. So obviously something's up.
Yeah. And I mean, she's the chief economist for the #1 job network in the country. I think she knows like what her shit is, she knows her stuff.
My one thing that I wish that this segment would have done, talk to people that have quit.
Yeah. They talked to like 3 or 4 employers and 1 employee.
They talked to 1 employee who worked for one of the employers in the segment.
Yes. It didn't have enough variety. And like you said, it all took place in that one singular town.
Yeah.
So I would have loved to see a more deeply researched, deeply interviewed, like a varietous segment on this topic.
Because I don't even know that it would depend on your location in the country. I think I think it's all based on the interest of the person that you're talking to. If there is somebody that's like, no, I've always wanted to do art. Or there's someone, I wanted to be a musician. Like, everybody's probably going to have a completely different reason for doing what they did.
Yeah, people in New York City are going to have an absolutely different experience from those people in, like, the Colony, Texas.
Yes.
It's a different experience, wholly.
We talked about the Great Resignation and didn't talk to any people that were in the movement and left.
Yes.
That, to me, is the biggest downfall of this piece, that this piece almost doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's quite an oversight.
I would want at least the same number of employees as employers. Like, let's get a 1-for-1, sure, because that's fair. But really, give me a good 5 to 10 just people countrywide. What do you see where you are?
Yeah.
Why did you do it? I mean, you have friends that may have partaken in it. What do they say? You're not talking... It's like the whole corporate thing where the people up top make these decisions without really knowing what's happening real world that's going on,
Yeah, people that are just so above it they can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah. If I'm doing the job, why would you ask my boss who reads the numbers how the job is done? They don't know.
They don't fucking know.
You would ask me because I'm doing it. If I quit the job, why are you asking my employer? Well, we don't know where they went. That's not helpful to what this movement is. Oh, no. People seem to want to just move on. Okay. That's not an answer.
Yeah.
It was a weird piece. I just thought it was way more played up in the TikTok And when I saw that it was so short, I just wanted to see what you thought about it too.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing this to me. It's good stuff for the brain to digest.
I am exhausted now.
Yeah, this was a really, really good topic. I appreciate you bringing it to me.
I did not expect it to be half the show. I really thought it was just like a tiny little thing. Just be like, that was a weird segment. But like you said, there's a lot of pieces. It's so connected. It just spiraled into more.
Yep.
So I feel like there's your first deep dive 2022.
Hell yeah. It's been a while since we got a good deep dive.
It has been. We usually have just like a smattering of topics, but we had one really good one right here at the end for you guys. So
yeah.
Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Let us know.
Let's resign.
Let's resign.
So actually, before we get fully on out of here, we got a stream coming up for you guys. Gonna get on that Twitch.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a game that we have talked about, at least just between the two of us, for a really long time. I don't know how much we've talked about it on the show for you guys, but Sea of Solitude. It's a game that I saw at E3 millennia ago.
Yes.
And I think we're going to go ahead and try that one out. Another little shorter, bite-sized experience for you guys. Just kind of intake it. Probably get us in the feels. Probably make us sad. But should be a good time.
Bring a tissue box and come cry with us.
Yes. We were going to do that January 22nd at 6 p.m. So put it on your calendar. Be there.
Or be square. One thing about Twitch, I kind of want to address, because I know that it's like on the tip of everybody's tongue. Everybody has been asking us to play It Takes Two.
Yes.
And we were gonna be playing it. Like we've had this like on the docket since I think October, but we had Streamtober, and then November was like a planned thing that we had already, and then December was the Minecraft stream because of the bet, and then this month is like really busy and things that are not podcasts. So
like we actually wanted to play that before all the hype around Game Awards.
I know.
Like,
it's been
we
like
had it down
literally
a long time.
Yes. So we will be playing that game. It's a 12-hour game, so it's a beefy one. It might have to be a 2 for stream. It may even end up being in like April when we do our stream.
I was kind of thinking maybe that would be a good like annual Yumtote birthday kind of stream.
Yeah. So if you're wanting us to play It Takes Two, please stick around.
Yes, it's coming. It is installed on my computer right now. I'm staring at the icon. I promise it's here.
We promise to play it. Anyway, here at the end of the episode, we always ask you to please tell your friends about us and help us grow this audience. And don't forget to subscribe to us on your mace. Don't forget to mace us in the face. Don't forget to subscribe to us on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode, because we release weekly every single Monday. On holidays, on bad days, on good days, we're there for you. Through the thick, through the thin, through the middle-sized, every single Monday. If you have a second to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, that helps us find many more lovely listeners just like you.
And don't forget to go find us and friend us on all those social medias. YMBTOAP on the Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We just told you guys about the other stream we got coming up later this month. We will see you guys there. And again, we love you patrons. You guys, like, you don't know how much it means that you're willing to support us and that you want to support us. It still feels a little weird to me.
It does.
That you're like, do your thing because we like it. Seems weird.
Talk. We like to listen. What?
Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, sure. But for real, everything you guys do for us, we could probably keep doing the show without you guys, but it wouldn't be as fun. It really wouldn't. And don't forget, we also have called for many emails throughout the show. So again, that email is ymbtoap@gmail.com. If you were part of the Great Resignation, please tell us when you quit, why'd you quit, what's keeping you from going back, what would it take to get you back, since this is such an employee's market. What are you going to demand?
What do you want?
What are your demands, sir?
If you're in a job that is not traditional, like if you are out there supporting yourself on OnlyFans or Patreon or something that is unique, something that's not corporate America.
For real,
let us know.
What is your hustle?
What's your hustle?
Because there are so many. Dude, I keep seeing ones that's like, can you read English? Read all these things and make sure that they're like, just like proofread things online and we'll pay a crap ton of money.
My sister did part-time work when she studied abroad in Germany because they translate websites basically by running it through Google Translate.
Okay.
And, that spits out like kind of weird structural
shit.
stuff. Yeah. So they'll run the website through Google Translate and then just give that copy over to somebody who's native in that language and be like, can you make this like be English
normal?
But good? Yeah. Like a human English, not Google English.
That sounds so easy. Like,
don't you want that job?
And actually, that probably pays well because it's probably a big corporation that's like, we want to make sure that we're making money from this other language. Make it right. We're willing to pay for it. For real, what are your hustles? I'm not going to steal your hustle. Trust me.
I'm going to steal it.
No.
I'm going to take it from you.
No, I'm all about feet pics. That's the only thing I want to get in on. It's so easy. I just gotta look down.
The smooth alabaster feet.
The easiest thing ever. I just look down and then I step on something, But please send us a listener mail on any of your thoughts about the Great Resignation. Oh, which, one more thing. Did you notice how they called it the Big Quit? Because that makes it sound worse.
Yes. The Great Resignation, it sounds wonderful. Like, yes, it's happening. We're all doing it.
It's like a movement,
Yeah.
And now it's like,
the Big Quit. Took a big shit on it.
Yeah, the Big Quit. All these big babies just stopping what they're doing.
We don't want to do it anymore. We quit.
It was definitely tailored to a certain side.
Yes.
But they tried their best to keep it down the middle.
They tried.
So yeah, let us know. I'm very curious what you guys are doing out there.
Yes. Our theme song is The Grim Reaper Blows the Horn by Faraj. You can support him on the internet. He's got the music hustle. Check him out on YouTube. Give him some cash. I don't know if he has like a cash app or whatever, but I'm sure it's out there. And as always, thank you guys so much for listening, and tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question. Is the Great Socialist Uprising next?
But we had one more important sound we wanted you to hear.
I actually wanted to take this minute to say happy anniversary to the best co-host in the world. She is celebrating her anniversary this week, and she's not here to be part of this ender with me, but just a little secret surprise for you, Kelsey. Happy anniversary. You're awesome. You guys rule. See you later.